Ontario treatment system usage and client profiles over time. This presentation will provide understanding of current problem gambling treatment clients in Ontario and highlight changes drawing on data collected since 1994. This presentation will also provide a map of system and client health information in Ontario's drug and alcohol treatment system. Karen MacCon is currently the Acting Director of the Performance Measurement and Evaluation Research Team, Provincial System Support Program at the Centre of Addiction and Mental Health. She is also the Interim Director for the Drug and Alcohol Treatment Information System. Presently, she is responsible for the oversight and direction for research evaluation related to the Ontario Service Collaborative Initiative and Drug Treatment Funding Program. This video has been professionally narrated from a presentation given by Karen MacCon on October 5th, 2016. So, let me give you a quick overview of what we're going to talk about today. I'll start with describing what DATUS is, then how clients access problem gambling treatment in Ontario. I'll give an overview of the information DATUS collects. We will look at the profile of the problem gambling clients using data for 5 years. And finally, I'll discuss how problem gambling treatment and the mental health addiction system in Ontario come together. DATUS is now housed in the Provincial System Support Program so that performance measures and DATUS are married together. We also have a provincial mandate to connect people to evidence. We have a huge KTE mandate, knowledge translation, and we help to put community solutions in place. We've been using implementation science to help at the community level on all of the interventions and intervention accelerators. We engage diverse systems and populations. And finally, we help agencies with information management. We're housed at 33 Russell Street in Toronto, which is our central location. But we have offices in Kenora and Thunder Bay, Ottawa, Kingston, Toronto, Hamilton, London, and Niagara. We collect clinical demographic information on systems and problem gambling clients using Catalyst. Catalyst is an electronic client information system that is used by service providers to assess clients, plan treatments, and manage addiction treatment. DATUS has been collecting data since 1994, so it's an abridged DATUS source. We provide funders and basic decision makers with up-to-date information that speaks to accountability, policy making, possibility planning, and incident suppression. This slide shows a pathway for self-referral for a client. A client can call Connects Ontario and get information on problem gambling treatment services in the province, and then Connect Ontario will provide them with treatment services available locally and the information around wait times. The type of data that we collect is for residential, outpatient, individualized counseling, group counseling, and family counseling. Today, we're just going to focus on residential and outpatient treatment use. So looking over 5 years, the breakdown of a client profile by age, you can see a little bit short of 50% is the 35 and 54-year-olds, and the second group is the 55 to 64. Gender, we see more male clients in Ontario, but not by much. As for relationship status, the majority are married and the second largest group are single. In relation to where the clients live, I'm showing you data from the 2010-11 fiscal year. That's April 1st, 2010 to March 31st, 2011. You can see that the largest group is shaded in gray. This represents the highest percentage of clients, 10 to 15%, and they are in the Northwest. Second largest percentages by region are from Hamilton, Niagara, and a lot of Southwest Ontario. Again, in a closer view of 2010, you see that there's nothing over 13%. Now moving forward to 2015, we see that Central East is now over 13%. A closer view in 2015 shows that it's quite high there throughout Southern Ontario. Looking at level of education over time, we see that the majority has completed post-secondary. Look at 2014-15, it was over 35%. As for employment, The majority over time are employed full-time, with a small percentage of self-employed. Here we can see that those who seek treatment and are in the treatment data world, they have no legal issues. Those who seek services are usually the individuals, but you see that also the family over time has remained quite consistent, about 20%, and treatment has been mandated as a condition of employment. For 80+%, that is why the client shows up. More than 50% of clients did not have a presenting problem. Alcohol is the highest presenting problem when you do include a substance, and cannabis is the second highest. This also follows anecdotal thinking in that the physical and mental issues over time also remain quite consistent, and the majority seek treatment for mental health in their lifetime and/or prescribe medication. But the lowest number is hospitalization with mental health problems in their lifetime. We do know that a lot of problem gambling clients in the province are not seeking care. Like in the Northwest and Northeast, parts of Ontario have fewer treatment facilities, and so people are unable to access those facilities. That also applies to mental health illness and addiction challenges. So the information that we're capturing is very centralized to the broader side of Ontario contacts, but Datus is very aware that we're not really capturing a full perspective of client demographics in Ontario. Thank you. Any questions?
Are you seeing any groups that are trending in terms of age or employment status or anything like that right now?
From a very high level, we're looking at men and women who are legally employed with post-secondary education and aged 35 to 55.
And that hasn't really changed over the years?
From the data from the last 5 years, I would say no.
Do you think if you showed a general population comparison for some of these things, what does the average high-activity gambler look like in Ontario?
Married, employed, not having legal issues, and not like the mental health addiction stats that I'm used to. How do you operationalize the problem gambler? What does that mean in terms of health seeking? What happens in your life that as a problem gambler makes you seek treatment? I think that information needs to be cultivated to get a better understanding, because it sounds like to me, what does a client look like? I think there's a richness that we're missing here at first blush.
So when will you be providing this data to the Institute for Clinical Evaluative Sciences?
There's more than 170 agencies that own the data. We must work on participation agreements amongst all the agencies to be able to share the data with others. These participation agreements are going out very soon, so I'm hoping to get this data shared by November. And the ones that don't want to participate, I'm going to hold that data back and not hold up the data sharing.